You didn't leave because they were wrong for you. You left because they were right. And right felt like the most dangerous thing you'd ever let near you. There's a specific kind of person who does this. They meet someone patient, someone consistent, someone who actually shows up without being asked. And instead of feeling relief, instead of feeling safe, they feel something closer to threat. The walls go up. The excuses start. I need space. The timing is off. I don't want to lose myself in someone. Meanwhile, the person who kept them guessing, who was hot one week and cold the next, who never fully committed that person they chased, that person they bent themselves inside out trying to hold on to. That's not a preference. That's not a type. That's a nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do. And most people who do this will go their entire lives calling it independence. You tell yourself you're selective. You tell yourself you have standards. You tell yourself that pulling back is self-awareness, that you just know when something isn't right. But here's what's true. The person who made you most uncomfortable wasn't the wrong one. They were the one your body didn't know how to survive. Because somewhere early in a house where love showed up and disappeared without warning, where a parent was warm in the morning and somewhere else by evening, where affection was real but never reliable, your nervous system learned something it never unlearned. It learned that love leaves, that closeness is temporary, that the moment you fully arrive somewhere is the moment you have everything to lose. So it built a system, a quiet, efficient, invisible system for staying just mobile enough to never be blindsided again. You don't experience it as fear. You experience it as instinct. The first behavior looks like this. Someone good enters your life, and within days, sometimes hours, you are already building the case against them, not consciously. But you find the thing, the way they text, a comment they made, something small that your mind picks up and holds like evidence. Psychologists call this devaluation. That's what happens when the nervous system decides that manufacturing a reason to leave is safer than waiting to be left. You think you're being perceptive. You're actually just protecting yourself from hope. Because hope, for someone shaped by inconsistent love, is the most dangerous feeling of all. The second behavior is one almost nobody catches in themselves. Someone does something genuinely kind, remembers something small you mentioned weeks ago, checks in without a reason, looks at you like you're not going anywhere. And instead of warmth, you feel a flash of something uncomfortable, a tightening, a need to create a small distance you can control. You go quieter, you pull back slightly, you tell yourself you just need room to breathe. What's actually happening is that real care activates real vulnerability. And real vulnerability for a nervous system trained on love that disappeared feels like standing at the edge of something with no railing. Not dangerous, just completely exposed. Real love doesn't feel like home to these people. It feels like a risk they haven't agreed to take. The third behavior is where it gets undeniable. People who do this are warmer, more open, more magnetic with people who are slightly out of reach. The one who's emotionally unavailable, the one who keeps the door half open. With them, something relaxes. With the person who is fully present and fully available, the one who means it, who isn't going anywhere, something tightens. The nervous system doesn't distrust them because they're wrong. It distrusts them because they're unfamiliar. Consistency feels foreign, reliability feels suspicious, certainty feels like a trap. Because the nervous system learned its baseline in a house where none of those things existed, and it has been chasing that baseline ever since, calling it chemistry. Here's what's actually happening underneath. The person who loves you the most doesn't scare you because something is wrong with them. They scare you because something feels undeniably right. And right, steady, available, fully present right is the most threatening feeling a person shaped by disappearing love has ever encountered. The fear is not a warning. The fear is a signal. It's your nervous system saying this one is real. This one counts. This one could reach the parts of you that no one who kept their distance ever could. And that kind of access doesn't feel like intimacy. It feels like exposure. It feels like handing someone a map to everything in you that has never been safe. The people who never fully showed up. You already knew how that story ended. You were braced. You were ready. The person who actually means it, who stays without being begged, who is consistent without being asked, that person has no predictable ending. And an unpredictable ending, for someone who survived by staying prepared, is the most terrifying thing in the world. The fourth behavior. You start manufacturing distance, small arguments that come from nowhere, a sharpness in your tone that you can't fully explain, a problem that feels urgent and isn't. This isn't anger. This is the attachment system doing what it knows, creating just enough turbulence to feel in control of the closeness again. You are not ruining something good. You are trying to survive it. The difference matters. But the outcome is the same. You push. They feel it. The gap widens. And part of you breathes easier, even as another part watches something real start to erode. The fifth behavior is the quietest and the most brutal. You start leaving before you leave. You imagine the ending. You run the grief. You picture how it falls apart, who says what, how you handle it, what you'll tell people. The relationship is still there, still standing, still reaching toward you. And you are already mourning it. This isn't pessimism. This is pre-loss. It's what happens when someone's early experience taught them that good things end without warning, so the mind starts ending them privately, on its own schedule, before loss can arrive uninvited and take everything at once. You are grieving someone who is still right in front of you, still choosing you, still waiting for you to come back from wherever you just went. This is what inconsistent love does to a person. It doesn't just hurt them in the moment. It rewires what safety feels like. It makes steadiness feel suspicious and chaos feel like home. It turns the person who is most capable of loving them well into the person their body treats like a threat. And the cruelest part, the part that makes this so hard to see from the inside, is that it works silently. It doesn't announce itself. It just shows up as reasons, as preferences, as a quiet, convincing story about why this particular person, despite everything, just isn't quite right. You weren't broken by that. You adapted to it. There's a difference. You learned to stay mobile because staying mobile kept you from being blindsided. You learned to find the exit early because leaving on your own terms hurt less than being left without warning. You learned to feel safer with people who couldn't fully reach you because people who could fully reach you were also people who could fully leave you. That made sense once. In that house, with that love, it was the only thing that made sense. But the person standing in front of you now is not that house. The fear you feel around them is not a warning about who they are. It's evidence of how much they matter. The nervousness, the tightening, the urge to find the flaw and hold it up like a reason that's not instinct. That's just an old system running in a life it was never built for. The person who scares you the most isn't the wrong one. They're just the first one real enough to reach you.